Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Patreon Dynasty, the Coach Carousel, brought to us today by Landshark. Thank you, sir. Appreciate everything that you do for me. So I want to give you a huge shout out for today's episode. Coach Carousel, let's see what we got. Now, this is going to be for everybody, so I was going to run it through us. Head coach. I could go to ACC if I wanted to. I am not going to. So I'm gonna extend my contract or cancel out of my contract. No, I'm not gonna accept this contract. I'm just gonna stay with my current offer and go from there. All right, so the Italian came up and his contract had expired because it was only a 2-year contract. So he decided to stay, or actually he was forced to stay with Tulsa for 1 more year. So he signed his extension. Pretty much everybody's getting the Arkansas offer right now. Merk's up, UTSA is probably up next. So we'll see who everybody else gets here in just a second. Oh, New Mexico gets the offer for Indiana, my bad. Tells me right up there at the top. Indiana for the Big Ten. Now, Army gets the offer for the head coach of Fresno State. Sadly, he's stuck for 2 more years. This was only his first full season in the Dynasty. So he's still getting good offers for the little he has been in, which is kind of a surprise. And Old Temple gets the offer for UTSA as the head coach. Their coach left, or UTEP, my bad. Too many UTs, man. But we are done with the Coach Carousel, looking to advance to the next stage. Next time you will see us, we will be on recruiting. All right, guys, we are to the recruiting in the off season. Let's take a look at what I'm going to do with my recruiting points, and then we'll advance it and see what everybody ended up recruiting class-wise. All right, so this is what I'm doing with my points. I'm going to try to get this tackle. I'm only putting 7,000. Don't want to risk putting all my points on. If I can get them, great. If not, all well. I'm going to put 3,800 on this defensive end and 3,800 on this athlete, and then 100 points on the punter and quarterback, just because if I can get the rest of these guys, great. If not, I'm not too worried. If I can get like 3 of them, perfect. Other than that, we're ready to roll, man. Getting ready to get this next season started. I'm anxious to see what everybody ended up recruiting wise, so let's advance it. All right, taking a look at signing day, 4 scholarships remaining. I got 4 of my recruits that were on my board done. The punter decided not to join. That's fine. Same thing with his quarterback and corner. Would have loved to have had him, but I guess they just don't want to play for us. We got the defensive end. Huge pickup for us, an 81 right off the bat. It's going to be nice. Just missed out on this athlete by 1,000 points. Get off my board, son. Just missed out on a corner by 1,000 points. Dang it. But we ended up getting a defensive tackle, and then the tackle that we wanted, we actually beat them pretty handily, 3,000 points. Missed out on the receiver. And then it looks like Merk ended up getting my defensive end, which is just fine. My recruiting class is straight up legit this year. So I'll take like 4 to 5 people under 75 as a whole on my season, which is great. I mean, I got 2 people under 70. We have 5 people under 75 out of my 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 5 out of my 17 under a 75. Everybody else 75 plus. That's pretty solid, man. Very excited with my recruiting class this year. It's going to be huge. Check out the top class to see where everybody ended up. Myself at number 6, man. That would have been great to win the national title and get the number 1 class in the nation, but it is what it is. Well, since I got 21 recruits, oh well, but only 5, so there you go. It's even better. Sitting at the number 6 slot, happy about that. We already took a look at my guys. We'll take a look again anyways. A couple of 5 stars, and then a lot of 4 stars and some 3 stars. A lot of offense for us. Quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, halfback. A lot of offense, a lot of defensive line. Actually got some tackles, which is great. This offensive line is virtually impossible for me to get. So let's see where everybody else ended up. Arkansas State takes the number 26 slot. Got a couple of athletes, 5-star athletes right off the bat. Bam, bam. Safety, and then another athlete. So he improved his secondary, it looks like. Look at the strong safeties, corners, linebackers, a couple of athletes, which typically transition into either running backs or corners. So to me, it looks like a lot of defensive improvement for him. UTSA in the number 30 slot. Got an outside linebacker. Once again, he went pretty even. There's a lot of offensive talent, quarterbacks, receiver-wise, but also a lot of defensive talent. So he was pretty balanced in his recruiting class this year. Solid performance. Merk takes the number 37 slot. See what he got. Athletes, linebackers, corners, improved his secondary drastically. Also got a lot of defensive or offensive linemen down there towards the bottom. I'll say a lot. He got 3. Got 1 for every position, man. But definitely improved his defense overall. Army taking the 40 slot. Dude recruited pretty good for not having the same amount of access to points that we do. He's stuck at a level 3 for the foreseeable future, so he still got 40th in the recruiting class, which is pretty daggum good if you ask me. A lot of defensive players gonna help improve his team, as well as a couple of big name offensive powerhouse players. It's also coming in at the 53 or 58 spot. And Tyan didn't want to be at Tulsa anymore. His contract had expired because it was only 2 years, but we have the rule where you're forced to stick with your team for 3 years. So signing an extension. Dude's just ready to get out of here. SEC, so showing him some love, as you could tell from the beginning. But dude didn't recruit great. He just recruited enough to get the job done. He's got a pretty stacked team as is. Simple comes in at the 91 slot. Computer did a lot of the recruiting for him. It got a lot of offense. 5 receivers. The dude went off there and then improved his defense a little bit. I'm saying offense for sure. I mean, halfback, kicker, quarterback, offensive line, receivers. Just definitely improved his offensive ability there. Then UCF, the new guy joined in. This is all the computer, sitting at the number 121 slot. So he didn't really have anything to do with it. He's also going to be at a huge disadvantage with only the 3 points, but he had a solid recruiting class. I mean, it's going to help, even though they're like 1-star or 2-star players. I mean, the best he got is 3-star, but any little bit helps. So we're ready to advance. The next stage will be position changes. You won't see that. Next thing you're going to see is the training results from everybody's position changes. And then we're done with the offseason, man. We're going to get into preseason and get this thing ready to roll. But that's going to be it for this part. We'll be right back with the advance. All right, we're back into the training results now, looking at everybody's teams. Oh my gosh, this Cooks dude, 99 speed. This halfback, 97 speed. And his quarterback's 98 overall. I mean, they're all seniors, but my goodness, dude. Another receiver with 99 speed. Holy crap. No wonder he throws the ball so much. Arkansas State looking to tear it up this year yet again. We're just going to go through all of the players and see how they improved for the guys that didn't get a chance to see it whenever we did advance it. This is just a little update video. I don't go through and look at everybody's stats, like overall upgrades. I just look at or individual upgrades. I just look at the overall. Army looking to be pretty good. We got some upper 80s. That's nice. That's nice. Especially joining when he did and being at the huge disadvantage recruiting wise. He's still gonna have a pretty good team. Most of those dudes I do remember from whenever I was with Army in the offline dynasty. So it's nice to see some of those guys still around, because they were pretty good whenever I played with them, and sadly I don't anymore. they were fun to play with for a little bit, but that's it. Myself, bam, Driscoll's in 93. He's finally a senior. Finally we got there. Eventually, hopefully he'll be better. He's got 99 awareness though. Golly, we're hurting it a little bit in my opinion. We're kind of experienced. We're kind of an older team. I was worried really about my receiver core, because I had my top 3, maybe top 4 were seniors, but I forgot I had a red shirt like all of my freshmen, so I have like 1 junior and that's about it. we're looking really good, and I'm liking the way that we're doing things over here in FAU. Miami of Ohio, Merk, he's got 90, just 90s across the board, man. He's got a real good team as well, and he's just going to improve upon that. He likes to put up some points. He likes to recruit. He knows what he's doing. Merk's not a bad guy. He knows how to handle business. That's for dang sure. Most of his team looks pretty good. Upper 80s for the most part. That's pretty solid. Temple. See how look at that wide receiver. Bam! Right off the bat. Quarterback. He's going to have a really good team as well. A lot of seniors. That's the thing that you'll see this year, is a lot of seniors playing for a lot of players. Because I think this is this will be the last class before we joined, and then everybody else will be recruits we've got since then. So it's going to be pretty interesting, man. Unless you got some transfers or JUCOs like I did. I got a lot of those guys, man. I get whoever wants to come play for me. That's for dang sure. If you're a JUCO, doesn't matter. I'll take them. Now the only thing that I don't like is it doesn't show incoming freshmen for this part. So whatever they were, whenever you scouted them or drafted them or recruited them, whatever you want to call it, that's what they are going forward. And you're just going to have to wing it from there. Oh, look at that, 90 overall senior. Strong safety is really good. He said he did have a quarterback with like 80 speed, 90 speed. I thought it was like 80 something. Maybe it was 90 something speed. He was telling us in the chat. Maybe that was a freshman that he had come in. Oh, there we go. Sophomore, 80 overall, 90 speed. Okay, that's going to be a threat. In UCF, that's for dang sure. He's probably going to be a starter and go from there. And we should be almost done, man. I don't know who's left. Does we have any W's left? UTSA's last one. Okay. UTSA, punter is the best player. That's what you want. When you got two centers, you got a guy you can sit and a guy you can start. He's not hurting there at all. He's got a real good team. Once again, we're about even, man. Looking at the caliber players that we each have, we're sitting about the same. That's just the way we are. We're like identical, but different. But that's it. Training results. We are done. The next thing you'll see is preseason. We won't show anything else. I don't think we're moving any conferences around or anything like that. But preseason's next stage. We're going to get this next season rolling. That's going to be it for this part. We'll be right back with the advance. All right, guys, we're into the preseason. Checking out the redshirt players. Driscoll, 93 overall, going to be my starter. And then probably par the next year. And then maybe Reese, but we got a couple of dudes coming in that should be pretty decent. Redshirted both those guys as well. Went ahead and redshirted Thompson just because I'm going to let Taylor play. I mean, he hasn't been redshirt yet, but he's going to be a nice backup, especially speed-wise for White. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Taylor was a huge player for me last year, so he might actually be the starter. We'll find out because speed kills, man, especially in this game with all the users. I got a sophomore fullback doing all right. Receiver-wise, went ahead and redshirt Johnson and Dodds just because not super important. And then we have really young guys. These two guys I redshirt last year because they were both freshmen coming in. Extremely good. I recruited both these dudes. And they're going to be huge for us. That's for dang sure. Plus this 6'5" receiver right here. If we can get him to get on the field eventually, it would be nice. I'm going to leave both the sophomore tight ends. Maybe I can recruit one or recruit another one and then redshirt them. But as of right now, I just need both tight ends whenever needed and not have to worry about somebody getting hurt. Went ahead and redshirt the freshman just because he's better than the sophomore and the senior's going to play this year anyways. No point in keeping him. But we have a lot of age on our line. A lot of juniors. Next year should be very interesting to see what happens over there. But we're doing all right. Redshirt quite a bit. Redshirt almost as many people as we could because we have the depth everywhere else to make up for it. Look at me. I got 74 ends sitting right now, and then I got another one that's going to play in the next couple of years easily. You're going to play. I might even move them to the right side. Defensive tackles went ahead and redshirt both of my freshmen that are really good this year, and hopefully these guys will handle the workload while they're not. I'm not going to redshirt Shire just because he's a senior, and then Ward's a senior, and Kittles will play next year. But I figure Al Shire will be my starter, and Ward will be backup for the most part. Middle linebacker, I got Embed Bose. I'm going to call you Boss. 80 overall. He's going to start over Stewart. Just nothing against it. He's just a better overall player. Same thing with Burden. Not going to redshirt him just because he's too good. No point in doing it and then having the battle next year as well. Now, I am redshirting one of my senior corners because I need somebody next year because I would have had 4 seniors this year and that would have hurt bad. So I decided to redshirt one of them and let Miller be the go-to dude. I moved Stoshank from the safety position to the corner position, and he didn't drop much, if at all, because he wasn't going to get the opportunity to play this year. And I think that'll translate into good things for us. We're going to be all right. We're going to lose 3 seniors. Next year we'll have 2 juniors, and then 2 freshmen and a sophomore, and they'll be really good by the time they're seniors. So it's looking pretty solid over there. The free safety side, Sora's going to be the go-to dude. Napier will get next year, and he'll hold down the fort for us. Young, not going to redshirt him. I went ahead and did Rose just because he'll be like an 82 maybe next year. And dude's already quick as it is. He's going to be a good, solid player. I did go ahead and set up my recruiting board, but I decided I'm not going to show that yet because we're about even. This video is going to come out on Saturday, and this is Monday when I'm recording it. So it's like the same week. And typically, at one point, we were like 5 weeks ahead, dude. We're like right with it. So it's going to be way too close for me to showcase some of my recruiting early on. Arkansas State, I gave them 3 users. Not a lot of people had in-conference games this year, except for like two or three people. So everybody else pretty much got the same load. He's got UTSA week 3, Merk week 4, and then myself week 5. I know we haven't played. I think he played Merk the first year, and UTSA hasn't played him either. So I'm hoping for a potential like round robin, like everybody knock off everybody. It's gonna be a doozy, man. I haven't played him yet. Looking forward to seeing how that game goes. Army and Temple are playing each other. UCF. This was a requested game. One of our new guys, he wanted to play it, and then I also gave him UTSA at the end of the season because I like to schedule those late in the year games for potential upsets, man. That's what I like to do. I gave myself. Florida was actually on my roster already, so that's just fine. As was Tulsa. I just moved him around from week 3 to week 4. Give myself Merk because we haven't played, I don't think, since the first year. And Tulsa last year because he beat me down and he needed another game. And then Arkansas State because we hadn't played yet, man. So I gave myself a very rough schedule. Don't play UTSA during the season. So it's going to come down to the conference championship. Who's going to take it? And Miami University wanted to play Clemson. He said they kind of embarrassed him in the bowl game. So he wanted to play him. Just so happens they're number 1. And I don't like to give user games first if I can. Now, if it's all great, then I don't have a choice. Like, this is one of the times where I do have a choice. Sometimes I don't, like everybody else that plays. It's just the way it works sometimes, man. Temple, I gave Army, UTSA, and then UCF in conference. Nothing too special there. Tulsa. And I also try to schedule like reasonably understandable games. I gave him Syracuse. That might be a little far-fetched, but Arkansas, I mean, that makes sense to me. Myself, and then Mark, and he plays UCF in conference. Then UCF, I gave him UAB to start off the season just because another Florida team, or no, University of Alabama, my bad, another down south team. And then open week, and he's got number 18 Penn State. That was already on the list. Purdue, I'm pretty sure was already on the list. So he's got a pretty rough schedule, big like Power 5 team wise. But Army was a requested game. Then he plays Temple and Tulsa this year already. UTSA, I gave him Texas State to start the season. Whenever Texas State was in the Dynasty, they wanted to renew it. And it's a rivalry game, so that should help out that with that win there. And then Arkansas State, Temple, then Army. So that's the custom schedules. That's what everybody's sitting right now. I sent it to everybody early just so they would know. I mean, I didn't break it down on who plays who, but I let them know when the user games were and whatnot. So hopefully it all works out good. We're going to advance it into week 1, and we'll be right back. All right, we're in week 1 now, starting the season number 25. See who everybody else plays. UTSA, Texas State, UCF, UAB. Army's got a bye week. Arkansas State's got a bye week. Temple and Toledo. Miami University has got a bye week. And Tulsa, Arkansas. Let's check out the top 25 championship contenders. Clemson, number 1. Georgia, Washington, UCLA, Texas A&M. That's your top 5. Arkansas State starts the season number 13. That's good. That's going to be dangerous, man. Myself at the number 25 slot. UTSA at 29. Tulsa, 32. Miami University 33, Army at 87, Temple at 97, and UCF at 104. Checking the conference outlook for everybody. I'm of course projected to win the East. The West side should be UTSA. We're both pretty solid this year. I'm supposed to be over the top. It's gonna be iffy. Like I said before, the dude's really good. He'll get me. It's a matter of time, man. Miami University on his side. Toledo leading into Miami University taking the MAC with Ohio following. Mountain West. Army is projected number 4. I figure he'll do a little bit better than that. Air Force taking it. The other side, San Diego State should be pretty solid over there, with Army being number 6 overall. Pac-12, Washington taking the cake, with the other side being UCLA. And I'm going to assume Washington because they're ranked higher at number 3 in the nation. SEC, Georgia. Wow, Georgia really on the east side, west side. Texas A&M over Alabama. Dude, with Georgia taking the cake. Sun Belt. Projected to be Arkansas State. Not really much of a surprise there. Dude's number 13 in the nation. Would have surprised me if he wasn't there. Clemson on the Atlantic. Virginia Tech on the Coastal, with Clemson taking it. For the American is Connecticut, Temple, and UCF way down there. I would be surprised if they finished there, but we'll see with Tulsa taking the other side. I'm going to assume Tulsa taking it all. According to the preseason, the Big 12, TCU projected to win it. Big 10 East, Ohio State. Big 10 West, Wisconsin, with, I'm going to assume Ohio State. Yeah, Ohio State's a pretty good team. And then back to Conference USA. Looking at the preseason Heisman watch, we got Arkansas State's quarterback and left end. Wow. The running back for Oregon State, halfback for Clemson, and then Driscoll might actually be up there, but we'll see how he does during the season. Now for the preseason All-Americans, I'm not going to run down per conference. I'm sorry, it would just take too long. But all NCAA, we got Arkansas State, quarterback and wide receiver, Tulsa wide receiver. And then we have Miami University center, Arkansas State left end, UTSA defensive tackle, Kevin Strong, middle linebacker for Arkansas State. And then we have UTSA strong safety. I better have returner. Dang right, Taylor. So I'm talking about, boy. Second team, Rhodes from UTSA, Temple's wide receiver Bryant, Green from UTSA, Stoshank, who was supposed to be a safety, now a corner, and leading second team all NCAA, which is kind of crazy. Temple's a strong safety, and then Arkansas State's returner. But I think that's everything. I know the guys are extremely excited to get this season rolling. They were talking about it like just let's do it all in one night. Just wasn't able to do that for the offseason. Took a little longer than we expected, but it moved along pretty quickly. But we're in week 1. We're ready to get the season rolling. That's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time.